All right, well, to bring the jury back in, let's go to our expert. He's back with us, criminal defense attorney Eric Guster. Eric,
yes.
Here we are on the science. Good to have you back, by the way.
Thank you.
And the grand point here is that Perper comes along and says this is a drowning. Good for the prosecutors, right?
It is good for the prosecutors because that is what their case is based upon. However, the defense, I'm sure, are going to put up testimony in reference to the drowning may have been caused by the heart attack. Because if a lady has a heart attack, falls into a tub where there's water, she can actually drown as well. So I think it could go either way, but they're trying their best to say it was a drowning and Martin MacNeill did it, and anything but natural causes will help their case.
Got it. And that's why there's been such a fight, or Perper, at least a little bit earlier on in the day, was testifying about the lack of real damage to the heart. Basically saying this myocarditis was mild. It shouldn't have caused some kind of heart attack.
Right. And that's why he's saying that, he's essentially saying she may have had heart issues, but it wasn't to the level where it would cause a heart attack. But this lady died by drowning, and that is what the prosecution needs to prove, that it was drowning, not a heart attack. Because that is their theory, that Martin MacNeill drowned his wife by giving her these drugs.
That's it. And coming up, you know, and I want to get your take on this. Coming up, we expect to hear from an inmate who will say that MacNeill told him how he drugged Michelle and it made her listless and easier to get her into the tub and then drown her. I mean, how credible is the inmate who's throwing out the jailhouse secrets like that?
Well, inmates will do anything to cut their sentences, so they are not necessarily the most trustworthy people. If a person has a 20-year sentence and the prosecution makes a deal with them to cut it down to 10 years, I mean, they would say Mickey Mouse came and helped this person commit this crime. They would say almost anything to get out of jail sooner. So the defense will have a chance to cross-examine this inmate, see how credible this person is, and show the jury that they have prejudice in order to get out of jail. Because remember what we talked about yesterday, if a person has prejudice or bias in their testimony, the jury can take that as weight of their credibility.
Yep, and you know, they're going to, and speaking of which, by the way, the inmates, they don't want to be on camera. They're fearing some kind of jailhouse retribution here. So it's another element to all of this. Is the defense going to go after Perper as some kind of hired gun real quick, Eric?
Oh, absolutely. Because they had three medical reports, and this is their final guy who will help the prosecution's case. So of course they're going to talk about the first and second report because those were state examiners, and so the prosecution had to go out and find someone else to say what they needed them to say. So he's a hired gun and is going to say what they needed him to say.
And he again said death by drowning. More of his testimony coming up.